Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Madeline and this is Novel Inc. And today I am finally here to do my giant post-holiday book haul. I'm feeling overwhelmed because I was not expecting this level of like kindness and generosity and gifting and loveliness from all of my book friends. I say overwhelmed, but like it's overwhelmed in a good way. I'm just like, I don't know, I just feel like I'm just bursting with love for the book community, and this holiday season like really just, I don't know, it really got me. So thankful to all of my friends in this community for just being as wonderful as they are, and I loved exchanging gifts with everyone this holiday season. Yeah, that being said, let's go ahead and get into this because I have so many books to talk to you about. This is probably gonna be a long one. First off, I'm gonna talk about all the graphic novels that I've acquired in the past month or so, and the first of those is Aquacorn Cove by Katie O'Neill. This was a gift from my wonderful friend Emma from Emma Tobias, who is just one of my favorite people forever and always. I've already read this. It was so cute and so fun. I just love Katie O'Neill's art style and the subjects that she focuses on in her work. They're always very diverse and inclusive, and Aquacorn Cove had like this thread of like environmentalism woven into it. It was kind of like about saving the environment, and it was so cute and so fun, and I just highly recommend all of Katie O'Neill's books. So thank you so much, Emma, for this. Next up, my friend Laura from Bookies and Cookies sent me two things. She sent me Goldie Vance Volume 1. This is the first volume in the Goldie Vance series, which follows a teenage girl named Goldie. It's set in the 1950s, and Goldie is a mixed race girl who is working at this hotel in Florida, and on the side, she is kind of helping solve mysteries at this hotel. This is kind of a more diverse like version of Nancy Drew, I would say. And after reading this first volume, I can't wait to continue on with the series. There's also a really cute female-female romance developing. And then the other book Laura sent me was another graphic novel, and it was The Tea Dragon Society, which is also by Katie O'Neill. Again, already read this. Had so much fun with this. I think this might be my favorite Katie O'Neill book. Maybe Princess Ever After was pretty up there, but this was so cute. It's about these little dragons who grow tea leaves on their horns, and it's just the most precious. And again, beautiful art, so inclusive, and just generally a delight. Thank you so much, Laura, for these. And then finally, for graphic novels from my dear friend Chelsea at Chelsea Darling Reads, I got On a Sunbeam by Tilly Walden. I read Spinning by Tilly Walden in 2017 and really enjoyed it. So I've been wanting to read more of her work, and I've heard really great things about On a Sunbeam. Geez, this is a heavy one, you guys. All I know is that I'm pretty sure this is set in space, and it's a female-female romance, and I'm pretty sure Chelsea and I are gonna buddy read this at some point, which I'm very pumped for. Okay, now getting into the books. These are in no particular order. The first one I have is The Art of French Kissing by Brianna Shrum. This was from my lovely friend Leah at Drums of Autumn, and this is just a cute YA contemporary about teen chefs, which I'm just always here for. I'm pretty sure this also is a hate to love romance, and as with a lot of the contemporary that I'm gonna haul in this video, I'm low-key like holding on to this to read during Contemporary-a-thon because I think it'll be perfect to read during that readathon. Next up, I have two Sarah Waters books. The first one is Tipping the Velvet. This is from one of my favorite people on BookTube, Alexa from Library of Alexa. If you're not following Alexa and watching her videos, you really should be, because she's creating like some of the best content on this platform right now, and I think that her channel is just extremely underrated. Anyway, all that to say, this is Tipping the Velvet by Sarah Waters. I have never read a Sarah Waters, and that is kind of blasphemous as a self-proclaimed lover of historical fiction and books about ladies loving ladies. All of her books are both of those things. I'm pretty sure this is set in like a music hall and involves like performing and dancing and singing in some way, which I also love. I'm pretty sure Alexa and I are gonna buddy read this, which I'm pretty pumped for, and I can't wait to finally pick up a Sarah Waters book. Then Alexis from The Sloth Reader sent me Fingersmith, also by Sarah Waters. I admittedly don't know the plot of this one, but it says it's set in London in 1862. And again, historical fiction featuring ladies who love ladies. So I'm excited. I think Alexis and I are gonna buddy read this one. So very, very pumped to finally get to Sarah Waters. I have a lot of friends who love her books, so I'm sure that I will too. Next, my wonderful friend Owl at Yarn Owl Reads sent me Emergency Contact by Mary H.K. Choi. This one has gotten pretty mixed reviews overall, but I heard Mary H.K. Choi talk at the Decatur Book Festival this year, and I really like loved her as a person and like as a personality. So I have a feeling that this might really work for me if it's written in the same style in which she like presents herself, if that makes sense. I don't know, like I say, this gets super mixed reviews. All I know is that it's a YA contemporary, and I think it has some sort of like internet romance. Yeah, a romance that develops via text. So I'm interested to see what I think of this one, and thank you so much, Owl, for sending it my way. Next up, I have Beartown by Frederick Bachman. This was sent to me by Amber at the Ambitious Bibliophile, and I actually I'd heard a lot about this book, but I had never been interested in picking it up until I heard Katie from Girl About Library talking about this in a recent video. And when I heard her talking about it, I was like, why is this not on my TBR? Why haven't I read this? It sounds incredible. This follows a hockey team, and it's set in a small town, and it deals heavily with rape culture, and I've just heard so many amazing things about this. And like I said, after hearing Katie talk about it, I was so interested in picking it up, and this seems like a very wintry read, so I have a feeling I'll be picking this up sooner rather than later. Next up, I have a gift from Julie at Pages and Pens, and she sent me In Other Lands by Sarah Rees Brennan. I've already read this one. I actually put this on my wish list because this is my best friend Jane's favorite book of 2017, and I really wanted to read it before 2018 was over so that I could discuss it with her, and I ended up having a lot of fun with this one. Basically, it's like kind of a satirical commentary on like urban fantasies where there's like a world within a world, and a child gets sent to a magical school within this world within a world. It was really funny, and the main cast of characters was so lovable. The main character in this book is like a total definition of a disaster bi, which I'm always here for. And although the bi rep wasn't like perfect for me, I thought the discussion on gender could have been like a little more nuanced, but I still overall really enjoyed this. It was so not what I was expecting, but I had a lot of fun with it, and thank you, Julie, for sending me a copy. Speaking of Jane, next I have two books that she sent me. They were both by the same author. The first one is This Is Our Story, and the second is The Lying Woods. These are both by Ashley Elston. So Jane, Kristen from Super Space Chick, and Alexa from Alexa Loves Books all love Ashley Elston's books, and after hearing all three of them like rave about her books toward the end of 2018, I was really excited to read them, and Jane sent me two. So The Lying Woods I actually just read, and I had a lot of fun with this. This was a YA mystery. I think this is even more of a mystery. This has more contemporary vibes, but there is still a mystery happening. But I think this is like straight up kind of like a thriller mystery sort of deal. But I really enjoyed this one. Like I said, it kept me guessing from start to finish, and I just thought the portrayal of life in the rural South was really accurate and wonderful. So yeah, really enjoyed this one. Can't wait to get to this one. Thank you, Jane. Love you. You're the best. Next up, I have two books from one of my very best friends in the entire world, not even just in the book community, just like one of my best friends, period, full stop, and that's Joss from Squibbles Reads, who I love her with my whole heart. She first sent me Not Your Sidekick by C.B. Lee. All I really know about this is that it involves characters with superpowers, and the main character in this is bisexual and Asian American. So I have a lot of friends who really love this series, and I've been wanting to read more from Duet, which is an imprint of Interlude Press, for a while because they publish a lot of queer YA. I think it's important to support publishers who are doing that and putting in the work to publish diverse queer stories, and they are definitely doing that. So I'm excited to get to this, and hopefully, if I enjoy it, to continue on with the series. Joss also sent me What It Means When a Man Falls from the Sky by Leslie Neka Arima. This is a short story collection, and it is actually very short. But my friend Emily from Possibly Literate really loved this when she read it. So Emily and I's tastes on this kind of fiction tends to align really well, and I can't wait to pick this up. Also, I love all the colors on this cover. It's just so beautiful, and I love a good short story collection, so can't wait to get to this. Next up, I have That Night by Amy Giles. This was sent to me by my friend Michelle at Michelle Reads YA, who's one of my like newer friends in the book community, and I'm so happy that I found her channel because I think she and I have very similar taste in contemporaries, which is always fun to find people like that. This I put on my wish list because my friend Jane from It's Jane Lindsay really loved it. This follows two main characters dealing with the aftermath of a shooting in their town. I'm always here for well done, heavy-hitting contemporaries, and I trust Jane's recommendations with my life. And I think Michelle said she also enjoyed this. Am I getting that right, Michelle? Have you read this? I think that you said you liked it, so I'm very excited to read this. Next, I have Girls in the Moon by Janet McNally, which was a gift from my friend Lindsay at Lindsay Reads. And I read Janet McNally's The Looking Glass, which was her 2018 release. I read an arc of it and really loved it. It was like a super, super underrated favorite of mine of the year. I just kind of fell in love with Janet McNally's writing. So after I loved The Looking Glass, I immediately put Girls in the Moon on my wish list. And this one sounds so up my alley because it deals with main characters who are in a band. And Lindsay said that she has read and enjoyed this, which again, I feel like Lindsay is a person with whom my tastes generally align. So I'm very excited to pick this up. I think, again, I might hold on to this and save it for the next round of the Contemporary-a-thon, which is happening in February. Oh, I just found another graphic novel that I forgot to show you when I was talking about graphic novels. This is The 100 Nights of Hero by Isabel Greenberg. This was sent to me by Marnie. This is another one that I put on my wish list because my friend Emily from Possibly Literate really loved it. And yeah, I think it's a graphic novel about like the beginning of the world. And if I recall correctly, it has a female-female romance, but I'm not positive on that, but I'm pretty sure. Pretty much ticks all my boxes: historical fiction, graphic novel, female-female relationship, and Marnie said in her note that she really liked this, so I'm looking forward to picking it up. Back to our regularly scheduled book programming now. I have Sisters of the Winterwood by Rena Rossner. This was a gift from my grandma, like one of the only books, I think the only book that I'm gonna mention in this haul that I got from my family for Christmas. It is fantasy with Own Voices Jewish rep, and I saw my friend Rhiannon from Crescent Moon Reads 5-star this, as did, I believe, my friend Melanie from Mel to the Any, who are two people who like, I again just like really trust their recommendations. And fun fact, I'm pretty sure, I was like, Rena Rossner, that name sounds so familiar. So I looked it up, and she is my friend Nick Stone's literary agent. So that is why her name sounded familiar to me. This again kind of seems like a very wintry book. I mean, the word winter is in the title, but I just kind of tend to gravitate more toward like heavier fantasy books during the winter time, so I'm hoping to get to this sooner rather than later. Next up, I have one of my most anticipated releases of 2018 that I just didn't manage to get to before the end of the year, but that is a huge priority for me in 2019, and this was a gift from Chandler Ainsley. It is Girls of Paper and Fire by Natasha Nyan. This was one of my friend Melanie from Mel to the Any's favorite books of 2018, and I know my friend Alexa from Alexa Loves Books also really loved this. I heard that this deals with some heavy subject matter like rape culture and abuse and violence and things like that. This is fantasy that follows our main character Lay, who is a paper girl who is basically like in service to the king. And I hear this has a really beautiful female-female romance between two Asian girls, and I cannot wait to read this. Like, this is a huge priority for me going into 2019. I really want to pick this up very soon. Okay, and then the last 4 books that I have to show you guys are all from Melanie from Mel to the Any, who like, I just want to take a moment because Melanie is one of the best people I know, and she's one of my favorite people in this community and outside of it. Like, I love her. The first thing she sent me was How Long Till Black Future Month by N.K. Jemisin. This is a short story collection of speculative fiction by N.K. Jemisin, and I can't wait. I like didn't even know this was coming out. I feel like this was so under-publicized, this release, but I read the Broken Earth trilogy, which the first book is the 5th season, and I loved it. It's some of the best fantasy I think that has ever been written. So I've been wanting to read more of N.K. Jemisin's books ever since. This seems like a great place to start. I'm planning on picking this up in February for Black History Month. I just am so excited. I can't wait. Next, Melanie sent me 2 of her favorite books, and she sent these to a lot of her friends over the holidays. I think just because they're books that mean so much to her, which I think is just like such a sweet gift idea. The first of those is The Book of the Unnamed Midwife by Meg Ellison. I don't know too much about this. It sounds like it is kind of a post-apocalyptic dystopian book, but like a quieter post-apocalyptic book. To me, it sounds like it's kind of in the vein of like Station 11. It sounds great, and Melanie loved it, so I'm sure that I am also gonna love it. And then she also sent me Senlin Ascends by Josiah Bancroft. This is the first in a fantasy series that Melanie really loves, and this was originally like indie or self-published, but has since been picked up by a major publisher. You guys know that I don't read a ton of fantasy, but like all of the fantasy that I read and loved in 2018 was also fantasy that Melanie read and loved, so I have high hopes for this. And then lastly, and perhaps most excitingly, Melanie sent me something that I totally was not expecting, and when I started unwrapping the wrapping paper on this, I like started screeching, like actually screeching, because she sent me an arc of Black Leopard, Red Wolf by Marlon James. This is going to be allegedly, according to like people I know in the industry, like one of the books of 2019. I've been looking forward to this for so long because Marlon James wrote A Brief History of 7 Killings, which is one of my all-time favorite books, like just one of the best books that I've ever read. And this is the first book in a new fantasy series that he is starting. This comes out on February 5th from Riverhead. And like, can we just take a minute and like stare at this cover because it is so beautiful. I don't know too much about this except, like I said, it's written by Marlon James and it is heavily rooted in African mythology and history. It sounds like a very unique fantasy as well. Like, I don't know, like I say, I don't know much about this. I don't feel like I need to know much about this. It is very long, but since it's Marlon James, I know that it's gonna be great, and I like seriously can't believe I have this. So thank you, Melanie. You're my favorite. You know this. I tell you this all the time, but you're just awesome, and I'm so glad we're friends. And with that, we have made it to the end of this long ass book haul. I hope that you all got some new books for the holidays to enjoy. Definitely let me know if you have read any of the books that I talked about in this video because I'd love to know your thoughts, or if you want to buddy read anything, let me know that as well. I would love to buddy read some of these with people. Yeah, as always, all of my social media links will be down below so that we can be friends. And if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and subscribe so that you don't miss out on new content from me. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I will see you very soon in another one.